Hey everyone, we're going to do a real quick breakdown of a bossa nova. So we have a handout that we'll publish with this. It's a PDF document, so you can either download it or maybe we'll take a screenshot and we'll put it on video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down the basic ideas of a bossa nova, and we're going to show you how to break it down and then build it back up and then do a play along. All right, so here's the basic breakdown. All right, so the first thing to remember is that it's jazz band is usually where we're going to find a bossa nova. Jazz bands are generally speaking acoustic, so it's not electric. So in rock and roll we have electric guitars and that sort of thing, so it's nice and loud and we can play kind of bombastically. But in a bossa nova and a jazz band we want to play a little bit lighter. So the ride cymbal pattern is nice and light and legato. And I actually like a nice airy kind of floating ride cymbal sound. The bass drum is really, really important. We're going to play with our heel down instead of our heel up. And so I'll do a quick little video on that right here. So generally speaking, when we play, we're going to keep our heel on the ground. So the heel is down and the toe is up. And we'll gently play the bass drum in that manner, as opposed to in rock and roll when we lift the heel up and that we bury the beater in the head. So that's more of a rock and roll technique with our heel off the ground. So in most cases, we're going to keep our heel down. All right? Bass drum technique on the bossa nova. All right. The next is the snare drum is played with a cross stick. So let's do a close up here and kind of get a good description of how to perform a cross stick. Okay, let's talk about the cross stick on a bossa nova. The cross stick, usually take the butt end of the stick and hold it in the hand the opposite way of normal. So if they normally hold the tip up here, we're going to hold it backwards and upside down. And the cross stick sounds the best when it's usually 2 or 3 fingers from the edge. So there's a little bit of space here. I don't know if you can see that, right? So 2 or 3 fingers, you're going to get a good sounding rim knock or cross stick. That sounds pretty good. If you go all the way to the edge and if it touches the rim, it doesn't sound very good. So you want to put a little bit of space. Find a spot that sounds nice. Cool. And once you've got that, make sure that the palm of your hand stays in contact with the drum head. That way you're playing the cross stick in the same spot all the time. All right. If you lift the hand up, you're going to get a flam sound, or if you lift the entire stick, you're going to get different sounds. So once you've got a good spot and you've got a really nice sound, you're going to want to leave it there. Ride cymbal is usually pretty light. All right, so that's the cross stick. And then the hi-hat is played just like we do in jazz band. The hi-hat's usually on 2 and 4. So we're going to kind of start with that. Let's start with just the basic foot pattern of a bossa nova. All right, the basic foot pattern is bass drum on 1, hi-hat on 2, bass drum on the and of 2, and then 3. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. Sounds something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So that's the basic pattern for the feet in a bossa nova. Next, we're going to add the right hand on the ride cymbal. So we're going to use our right hand, our right leg, and our left leg. All right, so 3 of our limbs are involved. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. All right, I suggest practicing just the right hand and the feet by themselves until you really feel comfortable with it. So do it for 2 or 3 minutes at a time without stopping. Don't just do 4 or maybe 8 reps. Just try and play it for long periods of time. So just counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and out loud while you're playing the ride cymbal and get those feet patterns going. Then we're slowly going to add the rim knocks in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play, it's a 2-bar pattern, and there are 3 rim knocks in the first measure and 2 in the second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the very first rim knock, and loop it a few times. And then when I feel comfortable with that, I'm going to add the next rim knock, and we're slowly going to put those rim knocks in until the entire 2-measure pattern is developed. All right. So I'm going to do each one for the sake of the video and for the sake of time. I'm just going to do each one 2 times. So I'm going to do the first rim knock, and I'll do the pattern twice, and then I'm going to add the second one, and then the third one, etc., until we have the entire pattern. All right. So I'm going to start with the ride cymbal. I'm going to add the feet to it, and then I'm going to start adding the rim knocks. And this is a perfect way to practice this. All right, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So that's the basic way to break down the bossa nova pattern when you're practicing it. Then, what we want you to do next is to do a play along. So the play along has got bass and upright bass and piano, and you're just going to play that basic pattern, the basic bossa nova pattern along with it. So I'm going to use my phone. I'm going to set it up here. Hopefully you'll be able to hear the audio a little bit and kind of see me practice through it. Okay? Let's give that a go. 1, 2, 3, and...
purchase your copy of Developing the Percussionist-Musician, click on the link in the description below, or visit the Developing the Percussionist-Musician Facebook page and click Shop Now.